Just from your aura, I know you best for all I need to be better. I get so happy just from the memory, 'cause it could get lonelier, it could get lonelier. Love when you text me, though you ain't next to me, 'cause it could get lonelier, it could get lonelier. I get so happy just from the memory.
It can get lonelier. It can get lonelier. That's my next single dropping tomorrow, 27th of August, 2021. Yeah, it's a song about long distance relationships. Something that I have great experience in. And I brought on a friend who has some experience in it. Not some, a lot of experience in it, because he's currently in that. And again on the show, once again, a repeat offender. Our favorite, one of our favorites, Itena, who doesn't want to reveal his surname.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for having me on the show again, bro.
How you doing, Mark?
Nah, bro. I'm all good, but we're talking before the show. Shit, nigga, I am actually nervous, bro.
You nervous to talk
Yeah.
in general, or you nervous to talk about your relationship?
You know, because it's long distance, you know, you never know how everything is until, you know, everything is solved. So yes, kind of nervous about.
How are you? What's the current relationship status? Are you guys in a good space? I don't want you to come here and vent, and then she doesn't have a friend with a podcast, so she can't vent, and it's very unfair, you know. So
okay.
Are you guys in a good space? So you're not gonna be revealing stuff you shouldn't be revealing. I just want your experiences. You know, how do you manage it, stuff like that, and why are you in it, blah blah blah.
Oh, alright, cool.
No, we'll get to the questions.
Oh, okay.
As long as you,
yeah.
you know what it's about.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, Mark.
Nah, thanks for having me again, bro.
Yeah. So, how did you meet your partner? Do you want to tell us her name? Is it possible?
Yeah, I can tell her.
What's her
I can
name?
tell you her name. Her name is 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗲𝗏.
Auza.
So
Why we saying it's a
Mbali.
Mbalentle is a flower.
flower, yeah.
What language
Beautiful
is that
flower.
one? Zulu, na?
She is originally Mswati,
Okay.
but she grew up in a Sotho environment. So the Sotho people call her by a different name, but I call her Mbali because I also grew up around Nguni speaking people. So, and she likes the fact that I actually do call her Mbali. So yeah, her name is Mbali. We met actually at work. You know, you're not supposed to be jolling at work, but yeah, we're like, fuck it.
So you met her at work. She's a colleague.
Yeah. Actually, okay, sharp. I met her at work, but I only made a move on her at a friend's party outside of work. So I'm like, cool, man. Like I knew I was always eyeing her, but then like when we went to that party, I'm like, nah, that's where I'm gonna make my move, and I did. You know, a lot of niggas were like, okay, the niggas that we work with, one in particular was on some type of maramana 𝗟𝗏𝗶𝗲𝗶𝗲𝗏, you shouldn't have made a move on it. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, dog, because you just don't, because you're gonna be working with her. I'm like, yeah, but I'll mize it when we're in the office. So yeah, I met her at a party. That's how we met, bro.
All right. What were the dynamics of your relationship? Right now we know it's obvious that it's a long distance relationship. How did it start off? Did you know that this was a possibility? You met where? Where is this area where you met? Free State.
Yeah, Free State, Bloemfontein.
You were working there.
Yeah, I was working in Bloemfontein. So
was it a permanent, temporary at the time? You didn't know.
It was kind of in between. You know, I started off as an intern. So yeah, I met you while I was an intern actually. So yeah, the dynamics of the relationship, honestly, we were just friends who were feeling each other and want to, you know, be adults about it.
Yeah.
And adults about it meaning extramural activities. You know,
Okay.
You know, fitness training. You know,
Okay.
shit like that. So I was I was already on some type of yeah, this is what it is going to be until
It wasn't serious, basically.
yeah,
what
it
you
wasn't.
said.
It wasn't
It was physical.
Yeah,
Sure.
it was physical. And then, I invited her to one of my homies' chillers, and while we were there at the chillers, my homie was on some type of, hey, and like 𝗟𝗿𝗶𝗶𝗿𝗶𝗶𝗿, who are you dating? And then she pointed at me or pointed to me, and then I was like, nah, bruh. Like I was still,
Yeah.
two ways about it. I know I liked her, but I wasn't ready for commitment. So then later on, as our fling or situationship continued,
Yeah.
the more I kept on chilling by myself during weekends, the more I felt like something was missing. And, every nigga chills with the other niggas, but then, sometimes, you want to be with that special person. And, she was that special person. So, dog, I gave in, dog. And
Yeah.
for her, it was a thing of, nigga, I've been waiting, dog. So why are you only making your move now? Almost like she was scolding me. But yeah, and then that's how we started jolling, bro. We went on dates, rugby matches, fancy restaurants. Nigga, I went on a picnic, dog. I've never been on a picnic. She made me experience that shit for the first
What
time.
are fancy restaurants? Spa.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie, dog. That's fancy for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, went to Spur. There were a couple of occasions where these clubs where in the afternoon it's a restaurant, and then come nighttime.
Bonus cafe.
Yeah, that's where we used to go and shit like that.
Capellos.
Yeah, them types of vibes. Yeah, so that's how we met, bro. That's how we started dating officially.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's when it became, maybe I'm going to take this seriously. Maybe this is worth my while. This is worth my money of fancy restaurants.
Yes, everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did it become how did it become a long distance relationship, and how far were you within your relationship when this was an kind of like
Alright, cool then. We were dating, like I already told. We started dating. Everything went all smooth and everything. So we were dating for the next 2.5 years. And then towards the end of my internship or working, I wasn't getting paid or whatever. So, that's where I had to leave because
to find better opportunity.
Yeah, so I came back to Gauteng.
Yeah.
And it's been like this now for almost a year of us in a long distance relationship. And I'm not gonna lie, bruh. I mentioned it to her actually in the beginning of the relationship. We're having a convo about about God forbid type of conversations. So
I'd never.
Yeah. So she's like, God forbid we get into a long distance relationship type of situation. What's gonna happen? I immediately answered, then it's over.
Yeah, man.
Straight talk, dog. Like I was like, nah, then it's over. There's no need to push for something that you know is not gonna work.
Okay. So before we continue,
where
did this mindset come from that long distance means it's over, it's not worth it? Was this past experience? Was this other people's experiences? Was this
it's a combination of both actually. Firstly, it was past experience.
You've been in a long distance relationship before?
Yeah, from changing schools this one time.
As a child in high school?
Yeah, as a child in high school.
So you brought your high school experience into
very childish mindset. But that's exactly what I did. And I based long distance on that experience. And we spoke about other people that are in long distance relationship that ended up with them separating. So that's what happened. So, it was so unfair because you always look for a reason to break up.
Yes.
Because you always look for the bad things to have an example to back up to why you want to break up because of long distance. So I looked at those two examples of my bad experience from when I was a kid in high school to looking at all the other relationships that ended because of long distance.
Yeah.
And then I used it as an excuse to, this is why we are going to break up if we do end up doing long distance relationship, which was kind of unfair when I think about it. So
how was her view? So she asked you this question, and did you ask her in turn, like, yo, what would long distance mean for you? What was
I
her
asked
view?
her, and because of how I answered her question, nigga, you know me outside of this thing. Sometimes I can be a bit aggressive. I can be a bit
with your words.
yes,
and
very opinionated, and it's like I'm shutting you down because of how I'm saying things. So because of how I said it, her response was like, "Oh, okay, then I guess you're right." Only later on within the relationship, when I brought up or when we brought up the conversation or the topic, then I found out what her real views are. And dog, man, she was so matured about it. And
what did she say?
she was on some type of I remember you keep on saying your past experience. Leave that past experience. I am not your past experience. I am your current experience. And since you came up with a bad experience like that, why don't you look at your parents? Are your parents not staying in two different countries? And are your parents not married to each other, seeing each other, making time for each other in this relationship? And then I took a seat back. I'm like, shit.
She has a point.
She has a fucking valid point. And then I realized with the answer that I've given to her in the past was bullshit. She had a couple of examples, but the main thing was to tell me that I shouldn't be looking outside of our relationship to determine what's going to happen within our relationship. So after having that talk again about long distance, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's give it a try. And if we do flop, then we do flop. But it's something I'm willing to try. And yeah, it's been like that since I've been back in Pretoria. I'm not saying that it's easy. Just because we're doing it, it doesn't mean that my nigga, this thing's easy. Nah, dog. It's hard as fuck, bro. No lie.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible for you to, I mean, even with friendships, right? In most cases, with everything. And this is what confuses a lot of people. I think a large majority, I assume, people focus on proximity.
Yes.
Because you're my neighbor, you should be my friend.
Yes.
Because you look like me, you should be my friend. We go to the same school, that's where I should meet my friends. And I'm someone who, I think I needed the friendship approach that I had to affect my relationship approach, where someone who can live next to certain people and I would escape from them to go and meet up with my friend in a different town. Every day if I have to. I'd rather sleep over at my friend than to force this relationship next door just because I can go in my pajamas.
My nigga.
If I can't communicate with you and learn and grow, it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
Whereas some people compromise themselves and say, we're thinking, at least I don't have to pay for taxi fare. We're thinking, let's make this thing work.
Yeah.
So relationships the same way. I've always dated a girl who lives in another township, and she'd come all the way to where we lived, maybe 2 taxis, and vice versa, as opposed to a girl who I could see every single day, but we have nothing in common. So I understand the need for it, but sometimes I don't know if it's always worth it, because then there are the issues that come in, which I want to talk about. But let me ask, how do you bridge the gap? How do you make it work? Like what do you guys have a certain structure? Do you is there a routine of doing certain things?
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Do you even try harder than the average couple?
You know, funny thing. Before we came onto the show, I was actually having a conversation with the niggas about this shit.
Yeah.
And you know, the effort is doubled, bro. Like,
Yeah.
long distance and physically being with each other, the effort is doubled for real. You have to put in the effort. There is no, I don't know, code to doing it, but the only thing I can say is that you do have to put in the effort. So I realized that, yo, this thing is hard, bruh. Once it was like 2 months within it, because I'm not someone who's good at chatting, but now I had to constantly be on the phone with 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏 chatting, and she knows I don't like chatting.
Is
But
it
then I
specifically
had to do
typing texts?
Typing, voice notes, video call, voice call. The effort has to be doubled. You know, so that's what we did. The first 2 months for me it was easy. I'm like, dog, she's my girl, I can do that. But then at the end of the day, we still are human. We're human, and you do get tired of repetitive things.
Yeah.
So, and that's where it gets a bit hard. Why I say it gets a bit hard, because, on both parties, you will realize when someone starts doing it a bit less.
Yeah.
And the moment one starts doing it a bit less, that is when your phone calls, video calls will, from the other partner who is complaining, is gonna do it a lot. But
to balance it.
Not really to balance it, but to ask questions.
Okay.
Why are you doing this? Why are you not calling? Why are you not video calling? Why are you not texting? And that's the hard part, because with doing that is your first altercation you have as a couple in a long distance, and you have to fix it. A lot of people, when they get in this type of situation, will be on some type of, okay, no, I haven't called you in this amount of days. You know what? I told you, long distance is not going to work. Let's just break up.
Yeah. That's
So,
like what you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
They'll find the excuse to break up.
Exactly, Hijack. So, you see, with that, with that hard part, that's the test of, okay, are you really willing to keep your partner? Are you really ready to fight for this relationship? And that's where the decision has to be made. And then once you make the decision to stay, like I've done on countless occasions, that's where you know you're on some type of, okay, we're gonna make it work.
That's beautiful. So when it comes to managing your relationships, do you guys like have a schedule? Is it spontaneous? Are there certain ways in which you, because you mentioned, okay, texting is a tough thing for you to do, but now, you know, I'm going to mention the obvious, like nudes, right? Now, I mean, maybe you must, you know, create the nudes, or not just send it, but you must maybe pose in front of a pot plant, you know, wear the nice underwear. You know, she might not see this new pair of underwear you bought, because, you know, in 6 months' time, it would be torn. So let me show her through a picture, through a nude, or, you know, like, so what are these things you do, if anything, to make it worth more than the guy who's next door, who could easily just talk to her? Like, how do you stand out and continue?
It's spontaneous, bro, really.
Yeah.
It's spontaneous. Shit just happens, bro. You mentioned the nude thing, and it's like, you know, even during the relationship, while I was like physically around her, asking for nudes was not something I always did or always try to get.
Because what, you didn't need it?
Not that I didn't need it.
I shouldn't use the word need now, because now you're going to sound like,
I didn't really need it. But, you know, it wasn't It wasn't like you said, it's not a need.
Because it's there.
It is
Bali,
there.
I'm gonna see you next week.
I'm gonna see you and
That's
hey,
what I mean.
but in terms of long distance,
Yeah.
even the way I did ask for nudes was even in a way where I'm a bit shy.
Yeah.
You know, because of the distance, you know, I kind of put my head inside her head. Maybe because like I was thinking, is he asking for news so that he can show his friends? And, you know, you become a bit paranoid when the distance is involved. So, but spontaneous meaning, you know, I'll wake up one day and I'll be like, you know what? I'm not wearing underwears today. Let me just show my lady, you know what? Ntombazana, look what. Bam, and then you take a picture or you take a video and then she'll be like, oh, snap, nigga.
I remember this thing. I miss it.
So yeah. And then a lot of people will be like, yeah. So since I sent you one, can you also please send me one? No, don't ask. You know, it's a thing of she will send it when she's ready. So I send it in the back of my mind. Yes, I am hoping, my nigga.
Is that with your partner or people in general should not ask?
I think people in general shouldn't ask. You know, it's a thing of, you know, just go with the flow. So, like with me, I send the video of, check today I'm not wearing underwear. In the back of my head, I'm saying, girl, you better send me this nude. But how I think outwards, it's a thing of, I sent her something nice. Let me just be patient to when I am going to receive my fancy video. And when it does come, it's spontaneous, like I said. It's oh, wow.
Okay.
Shit, thank you.
I think I get what you're saying, but this I think works like in everything else, right?
Yeah.
Some people naturally do certain things. So some girls have to remind their partner that I like flowers. Not that he's a bad guy or a guy who doesn't. So she kind of has to remind him, baby, I like these things. Hey, maybe flowers would be nice. And that's the relationship they are in. She's not going to assume that her partner is a guy who wakes up every Friday and buys her flowers. And she knows that. In order for her to get her flowers, I'm not going to wait for this guy. I'm going to request. And with nudes, similar. A lot of people don't just naturally decide to send nudes. I was in a relationship with someone, the long distance one, where she understood long distance more than I did. So she would do what you're saying, that she would just decide to send something, and then sometimes there's music playing, and then she posed like this, like she
Set
put
the
effort.
mood.
And the only reason I'm asking about this question is because I learned more from that experience once I was out of that experience, not because I was doing these things within that experience. So I only realized my mistakes afterwards. That, man, she was trying so hard, you know. When she was sending me a picture, forget nudes. Sometimes she would just say, I've lost weight. And it's to show me that she lost weight in the way she's trying to act or whatever. But actually, she's trying to show me her body. And in that moment, it means I must send her a picture of me gaining weight. But I'm not realizing it. So that's why I'm like, it's going to be hard for you to expect something from someone if you can't just assume.
No,
I think.
in my phone, fam.
Pardon?
Have you been going through my phone?
Hey man, what's going on? What do you mean?
Nah, because it's funny because
Yeah.
she did send a picture. Bo, lose it away. Then, you know,
But you know what that's about.
yes.
Yeah,
It's just to show, nigga, look at me.
Maybe there is weight involved. But
There is,
but the main thing is I didn't send this to my dietitian. I sent it to
You, yeah. So
Yeah,
when I received that, I'm like, oh shit, no, that's dope. So then, when I gym randomly, you know, I would take a picture, like, boy, look at the progress, and then I send it to her. So it's also a thing of, you know, we teasing each other, but from a distance, long distance. But yeah, anyways, dog.
Nah, I hear you.
So yeah, bro, like I say, everything is done spontaneously. You know, you should always be surprised. You should always be unexpected, keep each other, I would say, entertained.
Is this a talk you had, or you just got lucky with someone who thinks this way as well? Or were you like, yo, baby, this is
I'm
how we
only
should...
realizing it now as we speak, that, keep each other entertained.
Did this come from making mistakes before?
Yes, I made a lot of mistakes. Like, actually not too long ago.
Yeah.
Because of long distance. And this was actually my primary reason to wanting to break up.
Oh, there was a time when you...
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah, dog. It's crazy, bro.
So the primary reason for wanting to break up?
Was because of long distance.
Okay.
And then, we had a heated conversation, bro. We spoke on the phone for 2 hours. 2 hours of talking and me just trying to, justify everything by long distance. And remember I told you something of because you don't put in this effort anymore like you used to, you now see it as a problem. That's everything that I was doing. I was pointing out so much of the things that she stopped doing.
Yeah.
And then that messed around with my psychology. And I was like, 𝗟𝗏𝗋𝗿𝗶𝗍𝗍, you don't post a picture of me anymore. 𝗟𝗏𝗋𝗋𝗿, on my birthday, you didn't put me as your picture.
Because she did it before.
Why are you not sending me this type of... Mbali? All I was doing was complaining. The moment I mentioned all those things, she felt attacked.
Yeah.
Because it was an approach of someone attacking. And then she's like, nigga, you think you're the only one who can shoot? Fuck you, nigga. And she shot. And when she shot, dog, I was taken aback, my nigga. I cried even, bro.
Yeah.
So she was telling me,
oh no, you cry? I want to use it.
The reason why you complaining about this is because this and that. Because like with the pictures thing, she's like, nigga, are you not the one who told me, you know what, Mbali, calm down a little bit. We don't want to 𝗟𝗏𝗋𝗋𝗋. We don't want to 𝗟𝗏𝗋𝗋𝗋 with everything. With the people around us, they mustn't really, get too used to us. And then she's like, you're the one who said that. Now when I stop doing it, you're complaining. I'm like, oh shit, she's right. And then the same list that I gave to her, she had an answer for everything.
Yeah.
So now
receipts.
So now because of that long distance dynamic, you look for every excuse and every reason. And for you who's complaining, who wants to end the relationship, everything that you're saying sounds very, I don't know, it sounds convincing enough to end the relationship.
Yeah. You're not rationalizing.
Yeah.
What's this thing? I want to mention something that I've noticed. I don't know if it's I think for every relationship, it's something that I personally have applied. We need to first work with someone who understands that things change, dynamic change, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned the picture thing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it will start off with, pictures every day. I want to post a picture. Someone who understands that might stop or change, right? Or if you're working with someone who doesn't understand that, don't introduce a habit you cannot maintain forever.
Yes.
So don't do something that you will stop at some point. Some things are just impossible to always do.
Yes.
It's impossible to always go online and do certain things and show. So that's why, you know what I mean? So
True.
I think, and then like you said, sometimes you'd assume that there's something wrong with the relationship because someone did what's natural, which is they got bored of posting a picture, bro.
Yeah.
You know? And that's normal.
It's
Even of yourself. As much as girls love selfies, they end up posting pictures of food on some days. It's like they're like, yo, my face is boring. So why must I post my boyfriend if I get tired of my own face?
Yeah.
So how is it better than a relationship that's in close proximity? What made you say, despite the girls I've met now within Pretoria and stuff, I'm still going to continue with this girl?
Yeah.
Because you were really not going to do long distance in the first place.
What made it better? You said?
What makes it better than the girl next door?
Oh,
As I'm assuming you are in the relationship because it's better than the other options.
honestly, my answer to that is the effort.
Yeah.
You know, people are too quick to make the decision of immediate affection. You know, you meet a girl today, and because of how you guys clicked today, you're basing your future with this girl just because of this instant. So
Okay.
you'll meet a girl today, like, oh yeah, girl, yeah, no, you know, I like you. Oh, I watch anime. Do you like anime? Yeah, I like anime too. And then you're like, oh shit, we were meant to be. Ganti, if you continue with this girl, you see that the only thing you had in common was anime and fucking. That's about it. Anything mental, anything spiritual, anything to better you, she doesn't offer that. And to get to that level, to see whether a person is worthy for all those things, it requires time. So yes, the difference or the better thing is because of time. I took so much time to understand Mbali, and I'm still understanding her the same way she's also understanding me. And all that is effort and time, and doing it with some random it's a waste of time, dog, because all that is just gonna last for today and tomorrow, or even a week, and then after that, nah, man, it's done. So yeah, dog, I think the whole thing is it's time and effort, dog.
So, do you think bridging this gap, cool. Let's say now, you guys are used to dating each other from a distance, right?
Yeah.
How often do you see her?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The last time I saw her was in March of 2021.
So once a year, twice a year.
Because of our current situation with the COVID, it's looking like it's going to be once a year.
Okay.
Because I've only seen her that one time in this year.
So do you think that seeing her more often will definitely strengthen your relationship?
It will. Because, an example, my parents, my father really makes the effort to travel to Botswana.
No, what I mean is not that. I mean, if you guys start living tomorrow together again, will that strengthen your relationship? Will that be what your relationship needs?
I think it will.
This is why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I have cousins, right, that I'm very close with, who are not close to our other cousins. And the reason why they are not close is because they were too close for too long. So it's like siblings. Sometimes you like your cousin more than you like your own sibling because you're always with your sibling.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, yes, I know relationships, for the most part, partners are meant to be together and whatnot. But sometimes partners being too together too much is their problem. And some people are actually maybe meant to be in long distance relationships. And everyone envies everyone else.
Yes.
So even the one who's always with their partner always wants a break.
Yes.
And the one who's never with their partner always wants to be with their partner.
Yes.
So it's like, once you guys get back together in the same place, the same space, maybe you need to remember some of the benefits that came with you not being together every day. The fact that you were forced to miss each other. Now that you're not forced to miss each other, let's create an environment where we can miss each other. Instead of being in each other's face every day and getting irritated and thinking, you messed up. You're not a nice girlfriend, Kanti. There's nothing wrong with her. It's just you're getting too much of her. So have you considered that you know?
I have considered it, and I have seen and experienced a lot of relationships with them similar dynamics that you're explaining. Honestly, I think it was at some point like that within my relationship. You know, when we were officially dating, you know, we couldn't get enough of each other. Like, I have to be next to her, she needs to be next to me, and all that, you know. And then it got to a point where, Mara, this is too much.
Yeah.
You know, too much of anything is unhealthy. I'm not saying that she's unhealthy for me just because I'm dating her. That means I'm with her now it's unhealthy. No, but too much of anything is unhealthy. You know, when we say, yo, I'm going to be chilling with the boys, we are going to chill with the boys. And that's the time you do need separated from each other.
She needs her own boys
yes.
or own girls.
The thing people need to understand, a relationship is shared experiences. You know, let's say you work at, I don't know, Chicken Licken. She works at McDonald's. When you guys finally knock off and get back to work, you share what went on during the day.
Yeah.
If you guys were working in the same place, you guys will be talking about the same thing, which is boring. Yeah. So that sort of separation is healthy because she experienced a bullshit as customer today. You experienced a good customer. So now, when you are finally together, hey Mark, guess what? Today I dealt with a racist customer. I'll come back. Yo, guess what? Today I met a white person that actually is cool with black people. And then because you guys were distant from each other, and now you're in the same room, you are sharing what happened through your individual life.
Yeah, your different experiences.
Yes, and that's what people need to understand with a relationship. A relationship, yes, you're together, but being together all the time or too much is unhealthy. So part of this long distance that I'm in right now is actually healthy because we are dealing with things that no one wants to deal with in the first place, which is distance. And now we are still hopeful that we are going to see each other. Now, when we do see each other, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be a special occasion.
It's going down, right? Extramural activities. But like that's this space is kind of healthy and unhealthy at the same time. But the healthy side of it is because we still are hopeful for the future for what we're experiencing right now. So
I love it. Especially when you said that, you know, once you do see each other, it's going down. Yeah. It's the same way, you know, when you don't see someone for a while, especially you have a short time together. If you have a short time together, there's no time to fight. So even if an issue does come up, it's like, yo, by Sunday we are out, so we're not gonna fight until Sunday. You know, whereas if you know that there's time, you can, you know, that's where a lot of problems also come from. Or can flourish in and stuff. So the tricky one now.
What is that?
Your needs. I'll say this, right? I was watching an interview with Nadia Nakai. Yeah. And she's apparently dating Vic Mensa, American rapper.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they met, I think, in Malawi. But before that, they were chatting and stuff like that. Cool. So they decided to embark on this long-distance relationship. And it got to a point where she mentioned that she knows that he's a very popular rapper. Yeah, popular guy. And there might be girls and stuff. What she doesn't know, though, you know?
Won't hurt her.
So, yeah. And, you know, hopefully he respects her enough, you know, if that's the case. It's not to say that it's definitely happening. But basically she had an open mind she had an understanding of the fact that, you know what I mean, you in America especially, come on, like maybe you're gonna, do you guys have any understanding of some, you know, if there's a girl you might like, I don't know, is it strictly the same terms and conditions of people who are not dealing with the problems you are dealing with? Because don't people who have your problems need different solutions as opposed to people who are living with their wives? I mean, a guy who cheats on his wife in their house. I'm seeing you tonight. Why must I cheat on you at lunchtime?
It's really tricky. No lie. Letswai is strangling me right now. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Letswai is up to my neck right now, bro. Every time I spit that Letswai out, it just seems to come back to dog. It's changed yellow now, bro. It's crazy. So yo, my nigga, I solved, not solved,
Yeah.
but I handled the situation.
That sounds very. You handled it.
Yeah.
You tried to be specific in what you mean.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you are meaning what I'm thinking, meaning. Okay, let's continue.
I handled my situation with pornography, man. Shit, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Watching porn, you know, now and then, you know. I know I did mention the thing of don't ask for nudes, but you know, right now, you know, you must be frank with her. You must say,
Let's talk. You know why you watching porn? I get you say, you must not ask for nudes. Now ushatakadi nude. You need data now. You are googling, you are searching instead of using your partner.
That's why it's tricky. And you know, I told her, you know, I watched porn, you know. I told her, yo, I watched 𝗟𝗲𝗃 DS today, and she's like, yo, let me Google this 𝗟𝗃. And then she's like, yo, the bonus is smart. I'm like, yeah, you know already what I like, girl. Then she's like, yeah, no, continue. I'm like, but how long is this going to continue? The little is killing me. You know, testosterone is hard to get rid of. But, you know, so our way around it is, you know, be open to telling your girlfriend that you do watch porn.
Oh, so that's
Be open to asking her for videos. And when it comes to the other thing of, other girls, you know, I did tell my girl that, you know, there was a time we went for a photo shoot. I met a girl there. No, she was cool. Then she's like, and then did you like her? Man, she was cool and all that. She was cool. And then she was like, no, fine. But then she knows that that's where it must end. I must be satisfied only with talking. And as much as every nigga wants to smash every girl that, you know, we meet at the club.
I'm not gonna be here and let you learn my name.
Okay, sorry.
Not on my podcast.
But,
I'll edit it out.
Okay.
Talk proper, otherwise we cut.
Oh, sorry.
Talk.
Apologies.
Rephrase.
Apologies for that. I rephrase. As much as you're in a situation where you feel like I haven't seen my girl in a long time. This is how I want to go about it by releasing some steam. You know you're not supposed to do it. So
in your relationship,
yes, I know I'm
monogamous.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm not supposed to do it, and I've been tempted at all times. Every opportunity that comes, I always get to the level of, you know, talking, holding hands to a certain extent, and when it's time to go further than that, I feel super guilty. And you know, you need to be open to your girl, man. So that's why I tell her, no, I met a girl at your video shoot or photo shoot, and she already knows that this guy, he knows how to talk, so he most probably did speak to this girl. But every time I know I'm feeling that physical need, I always call her and I always tell her, yo,
you handle it.
Yeah, it's very difficult right now, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna watch some porn. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I handle that tricky situation. No lie.
One more silly question just for the road.
Yeah.
Did you change your preference in porn because now it had to look like your partner who's not around anymore?
There are instances where I look for similarities of my girl. You know, you'll be the ebony, thick, light-skinned girl with natural hair, and you will find it there.
Ow.
It's there. I'm like, I'm like,
they have those things. I don't know this thing.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, bruh.
Okay, that's nice, man. Thank you so much, man. You have more notes. Yeah, you should see Mark's face. Oh, my guy. And then I wanted to talk about the breakup.
Breakup.
Yeah.
Like I told you,
Or the close enough. It was
almost there. It was
Yeah.
almost there. I did mention it to her countless occasions in that talk that we had for like 2 hours. I'm like, I'm not feeling it.
You were not feeling the distance.
I was saying I'm not feeling.
Because someone caught your eye close by.
To
some extent. Maybe.
Someone caught my eye. No.
What were you going to replace her with? Who? With your loneliness?
Yes, loneliness.
You'd rather be alone than be with someone who's so
because
far
I
away.
was stressed, yes.
That's how you were feeling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I had no replacement. I have no replacement. So like I did tell her, yo, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah.
I want to end it. And then she told me during the phone call, I knew it.
She could feel it.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, why would you say something like that? And then she's like, why would you say something like that? So it's like, I'm trying to justify, I'm the one who wants to break up, but why? Why do you know I want to break up?
Now she's the wrong because she knows.
Because she knows.
Shouldn't figure it out.
So then, she told me, during the day she was feeling a bit uncomfortable. She didn't know why. It's like she had a 𝗟𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗶𝗿 type of feeling, only for her 𝗟𝗏𝗹𝗶 to finish when I called her. And then she's like, Kanti, this is the feeling I was having. This bad news that you wanted to tell me.
Intuition. Women have intuition.
And she said, you see, it's because you don't know that we're disconnected and you come pulling some shit like this. I'm like, oh. That's where I was like, yeah, no, I'm wrong for what I said.
So it was worth working through. It was
yes, I'm happy we went through all that because I saw my mistakes. I saw a lot of where I am very one-sided type of mindset.
Yeah.
And she showed me where it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be considerate, man. I wasn't considerate at all. And I always like preaching to people, man, you need to be more considerate. Kantine. I'm not doing it to the person who's sharing her affection, her love with me. So yeah.
Okay. I learned a lot, Maji.
Yeah.
I learned that maybe some circumstances are worth it.
Yes.
Depending on if the person, like it's a joint effort, I guess, is what I also picked up. As soon as you were giving up, it's not that she was ready. Like that balance. I like that balance.
Yeah.
And yeah, I always say like the biggest problem with a lot of issues is that usually only one person is trying to solve it. And that's where the problem. So you'll never win, no matter how much information you have. If this person is ready to stop and quit, and they already found a James in Bloemfontein, it's done. But if you both are trying, even if you are both not on the same page, just the intent alone that you both want this, you both wanna, want it to work out. That's quite enough, to weather the storm.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best.
Thanks, fam.
In future, with your relationship. I hope that you guys can bridge the gap, like physically.
Yeah.
Live closer, if not in the same home. And she sounds like a special girl.
She is.
I don't know if you're a special guy, but you got
try,
lucky.
Fam. I try.
So, all the best, my G. And teach us, show us, lead. It's a very lovely love story. I love.
Yeah.
And I had to learn from this. I failed in long distance relationships.
Unlucky, fam.
And but I understand why, even from listening to you. And sometimes it's actually not the distance, like you said.
True.
We just use that as an excuse. So thank you, man.
Yeah.
Please give us your socials. Where can we find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Marco Itena.
It's spelled
MARCOITENA.
And then where else?
You can also follow me on or subscribe to my channel on Instagram. No, not Instagram, sorry, on YouTube. Kick-Ass Marky. MARCKY. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But must I
Nice.
give closing words?
Yeah.
Oh.
Something related to what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No worries. Umthanda njengefish.
How's that?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for joining us. As you know, this episode was a special episode in regards to the song I'm releasing tomorrow called Lonelier, a song about a long distance relationship and how communication helps, how text help, how nudes help.
Yeah.
And how you cannot feel the distance if you just know how to manage it well. So that's out tomorrow on all digital platforms. That's the iTunes, Spotify, Tidal. And yeah, stream it there and let me know how you feel about it. Go and follow Delite Side of Life on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Delite Music. That's my account. And then the link to the song will be in the description. So just look out for that in the description on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. And thank you again for listening. Thank you, Mark.
No problem, bro.
Thank you, Mbali, for allowing Mark to talk about your relationship. And yeah, thanks, guys, for listening. This was another episode of Delite Side of Life. Peace.
Oh, I get so happy from the memories, yeah. Love when you text me, you ain't next to me. It could get lonely, yeah. I get so happy from the memories, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Love when you text me. You ain't next to me, but it could get lonelier. It could get lonelier. Oh no, I'm alone. I really miss you so. Can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to come back home. Oh no, I'm alone. I really miss you so. Can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to come back home. Come back home. Come back home. Just from your